You're doing everything right. You're not buying stuff you don't need. You're cutting back on restaurants. You're putting money away every single month. And somehow you're still falling behind. That feeling isn't in your head. And the reason it's happening? It's not what most people think. Millions of Americans are doing exactly what they were told to do. Save your money. Be responsible. Don't spend what you don't have. But here's the thing nobody warned them about. Saving money, by itself, is no longer enough. Because while your savings just sits there, the cost of everything else keeps moving. And it's not moving in your direction. Today, we're going to talk about something most financial content skips over, the actual bridge between having savings and making those savings work for you. Here's a scenario that probably sounds familiar. You've been saving for a few years. Maybe you've got $5,000 in the bank. Maybe $12,000. Maybe more. You feel like you're being responsible. You feel like you're ahead of most people. And in some ways, you are. But here's the problem nobody talks about. If inflation is running at 4% per year, and your savings account is earning 0.5%, you're not treading water. You're slowly sinking. Every year, that $10,000 buys less. Quietly. Invisibly. Without a single warning notification from your bank. This is called purchasing power loss, and it hits every saver who doesn't know about it. Now here's where most people get stuck. They know they should invest. They've heard the word stocks. They've seen people talk about Roth IRAs on the internet. But it all sounds complicated. It sounds risky. It sounds like something other people do, people with more money, more knowledge, more time. So they wait. And waiting has a cost. But here's the thing almost nobody realizes. You don't need to be an expert to start. You don't need thousands of dollars. You don't need a financial advisor on speed dial. You just need to understand a few basic ideas, and then act on them. Lesson 1. Time is the most powerful financial tool you have. Not income. Not luck. Time. Here's what that looks like in real life. Two people, let's call them Marcus and Diana. Marcus starts investing $200 a month at age 25. By 35, life gets busy, a mortgage, kids, and he stops. He invested for 10 years. Diana doesn't start until 35. But she invests $200 a month every month for the next 30 years. Who ends up with more? Marcus, by a significant margin. Even though he invested for less time. Even though he put in less total money. That's the power of compound growth. Your returns earn returns. And the longer that runs, the more dramatic the result. But here's the part that changes things. Most people hear this and think, I missed my chance. I'm already 35. Or 40. Or 45. That's not true. Starting late is always better than never starting. The worst move you can make is deciding it's too late, because that guarantees the outcome you're afraid of. Let's slow down and get real about something. Investing isn't one thing. It's a category. And a lot of beginner content throws around terms without actually explaining what they mean. So here's a simple version. When most financial experts say start investing, what they're usually pointing at is something called an index fund. An index fund is basically a basket that holds a little piece of hundreds, sometimes thousands, of companies all at once. When those companies grow, your basket grows. You don't have to pick winners. You don't have to watch stock prices every hour. You just hold the basket. Over the last 50 years, the US stock market, overall, has returned an average of about 7% per year after inflation. That's not guaranteed. Markets go up. Markets go down. Some years are brutal. But over the long run, the trend has gone up. And this is where it gets important. That 7% average return sounds modest. But watch what it does over time. $10,000 invested today at 7% annually becomes roughly $76,000 in 30 years. Without ever adding another dollar. That's not a miracle. That's math. And it's available to anyone who starts. If you're still watching, this next part changes everything. Here's the real twist. Most people think the problem is that they don't know where to invest. But that's actually not the hardest part. The real problem is psychological. It's the paralysis of wanting perfect information before making any move. It's waiting until you understand it better. Until the market looks safer. Until you have more saved up. And while you wait, every single month, the gap widens. Here's what the research actually shows about investing behavior. The biggest factor in long-term investment success isn't picking the right fund. It isn't timing the market. It isn't even the return rate. It's consistency. Showing up every month and putting something in, regardless of what the market is doing. There's a strategy for this called dollar cost averaging. You invest the same fixed amount, say $100, every single month, no matter what. When prices are high, you buy fewer shares. When prices are low, you buy more. Over time, this smooths out the risk. It removes emotion from the equation. And it turns investing from a stressful decision into a quiet habit. But here's the part almost nobody tells you. The biggest thing standing between you and building wealth isn't a lack of knowledge. It's the belief that you need to be ready before you start. You don't. Now let's talk about where you actually put the money. Because this is where a lot of people lose thousands of dollars without ever realizing it. If your employer offers a 401k with a match, and you're not contributing enough to get the full match, stop everything and fix that first. An employer match is free money. It's an instant 50% or 100% return on whatever you put in, up to the match limit. Nothing else in finance comes close to that. After that? Look at a Roth IRA. With a Roth, you invest money you've already paid taxes on. But here's the deal, everything it earns grows tax-free. And when you retire and take the money out, you owe nothing to the IRS. For someone in their 20s, 30s, or even 40s, that tax-free compounding is worth more than most people realize. Simple priority order? First, get the full employer match if you have one. Second, max out a Roth IRA if you qualify. Third, invest in a regular brokerage account after that. That's not a complicated strategy. That's the actual foundation most wealth builders use. Here's the honest truth about all of this. You are not behind because you made bad choices. You're behind because nobody ever sat down and explained how this actually works. Schools don't teach it. Most parents didn't know it. And the financial industry has spent decades making it feel more complicated than it needs to be. But here's what's real. Putting $150 a month into a low-cost index fund inside a Roth IRA, starting today, is not a complicated move. It's available to almost anyone with a steady income. And 30 years from now, that habit, that one quiet decision, could be the difference between financial stress and financial freedom. You don't need to be rich to start investing. You need to start investing to eventually stop worrying about money. So here's what to do this week. Step 1. Open a Roth IRA. Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab all have no minimum to start. Step 2. Set up an automatic monthly transfer, even $50. Even $25. Then let time do what it does. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now.